and welcome. Let me do the quick Week 2 rundown. Alright? First, I just want to say overall that there's certain teams that are starting to emerge. Once again, little tease, this year's Suck It Cavish looking pretty decent. Looks like he's got a good squad. He beat the Sunrise Touchdowns by 7 points. Sunrise, who had that huge 170-point monstrosity in Week 1, kind of came up a little bit light. Let's take a look at the quick box score. He went from 170 Week 1 to about 70. And so that tells you how much of a up and down we could have in this league. Stafford only gave him 10. Chris Johnson wasn't that good. Cobb did well. Le'Veon Bell did well. But Roddy White, he got a couple injuries. Vernon Davis. Everybody else gave him single digits. So he had like a good Week 1, bad Week 2. Very up and down. But I think you stick with it, you should be good. What else? We had Cavish knocked out Thomas with not much of a score, 7 points. He only scored 79 points, but C.J. Spiller gave him 20. Cam Newton gave him a decent 15. Calvin Johnson only gave 11, which is low for Johnson. Julius Thomas only gave 11. But you look at that team, you look at Johnson, Thomas, combined with Cordero Patterson. I think that he's got a good squad, and I think we should all look out for the Cabbages. All right. Now, let's go on to another matchup that took place last week. Let's take a look. Let's see. Let's talk about the highest score of the week, which was Laces Out, Christine, versus the Kraken, Miguel, who scored 100 points. Would have beat a lot of other teams this week, myself included. Would have beat at least 5 other teams, but had to go against the highest score, the Laces. The Laces scored 124 points. Okay, Laces look good. Laces look tough. Laces have James Jones from Oakland, who scored 20. I don't even know who that is, but he did well. Panthers D, 20. Okay, I got 14 from the kicker. Okay, Emmanuel Sanders, who looks really good for Denver. He's like the new slot guy for them, 15. And Peyton Manning. So she's got Peyton Manning, Antonio Brown, who gave her 14, Emmanuel Sanders, and a really top-notch defense. So look out for Laces. Laces look tough. Miguel, the Kraken, okay, has the Broncos D and Jimmy Graham. Jimmy Graham gave 30 points, so that's his number 1 player, number 1 pick too. Foles, I think, is going to give a decent output. Give him 18. Jennings, the running back for the Giants, 10. And then got weak stuff from Forsett, who's now like the new running back, the main guy with Ray Rice out. And you still got Reggie Wayne. He's got a couple other players, Victor Cruz, that should be performing better. So I expect a couple of wins to come out of the 0-2 Krakens. All right. Next. And I would watch out for the Laces Out. Laces Out looks tough. By the way, did you name your team after the roller skating rink from a kid out in Long Island? Just curious. Let me know. All right. Up next, let's talk about the second highest score of the week, which were the Adams. The Adams got a win. Okay, they put themselves up on the big board. The Adams, let's take a look. Let's go to the videotape. Beat Boston Strong, took out MJ with 3 really big performances. Basically, 23 points from DeMarco Murray, 33 points from Jordy Nelson, who just went off on the Jets, 18 points from McCoy. So the Adams look really tough because right now McCoy and Murray are the 2 top most scored running backs out of the first 2 weeks, and he's got them both. He's got 1 and 2. It's really tough. Jake Locker gave him garbage. He recently made a few pickups. Andre Ellington looks a little banged up. But watch out. He picked up the guy Donald from the Giants, the tight end. Boston, don't worry too much. You have Drew Brees. Drew Brees only gave you 13.8. I expect Drew Brees to do much better than that, of course. Zach Stacy is going to get a good workload every week, so I expect good stuff from Zach Stacy. C.J. Anderson, I don't know about that. For running backs, it's kind of like backup to Montee Ball, who's not like, they're throwing the ball a lot more than they're going to be running it, and that's a committee as well. So I don't know how strong I would start someone like Anderson. A.J. Green got hurt. Edelman gave 20. Edelman's a good slot receiver. He's going to get a lot of targets from Brady. The main guy, he's going to get more targets than Gronkowski. It's going to be Edelman. Yeah, the Cardinals D gave her 26. So really, it was just a couple of duds from Bolden, Witten, and the 0 from the hurt from an injury from A.J. Green. So stick in there, Boston, and you should get more wins. Next we have, let's talk about the next highest score, which would be the Paper Planes, who beat me. Always beating me. Dang you, Paper Planes. Taking out my Yak Train. My Yak Train, let's see what happened with my Yak Train. Jamal Charles got hurt. That was the big story. Jamal Charles gave me 1.7. Jamal Charles was supposed to be the top 3 running back, was the best running back last year. Is hurt, alright? Well, I guess a lot of people could have predicted that. He did amazing last year, you know, how long could he hold it up for? He got hurt, high ankle sprain, got knocked out early, 1.7 points. Montee Ball, only 10 points. Russell Wilson, 16 points. Demaryius Thomas, 14 points. Percy Harvin, Zach Ertz, these are good. Justin Hunter, Tennessee, against the bad Dallas defense, was supposed to give me more than just 3.6. Terrible. And the Dolphins D give me 0.6. So my biggest mistakes were Justin Hunter and the Dolphins D, and Jamal Charles getting hurt. On the flip side, Tony Romo did nothing for the Paper Planes, so it's going to be a good opportunity to knock him out. But Marshawn Lynch, Frank Gore gave him a steady 14 each. You got Andre Johnson, Crabtree scored big points, Martellus Bennett, Chris Ivory 10, the Bengals D 18. So across the board, double digits except for Tony Romo. So good job, Paper Planes, 107 points. Let's see who else we got here. Next up was the Rodgers. Rodgers got 106 points. And how did Rodgers do it? The Rodgers did it with, I should make eye contact, right? Oh. The Rodgers did it, 106 points. Squeezed by. That was a really tight match. I remember watching that. I remember really watching. These guys were neck and neck the whole time. That was really kind of exciting. I was like checking my the box scores. Rodgers bounced back against the Grundles. The Grundles have a really good team. You have a good team, the Grundles. However, you're 0-2 just from bad matchups right now. First, the Rodgers got Aaron Rodgers. Did well. Sproles, 30 points. It's huge. All right. Not much out of Isaiah Cromwell. And Brandon LaFell from New England gave a 0. Okay. Gronkowski only 5. Mike Wallace is a good pickup, gave 14. Seahawks D only gave 3. And Gostkowski. So between Aaron Rodgers, Seahawks D, Larry Fitzgerald, Gronkowski, and Sproles, the Rodgers look pretty good this year. They look like they should be up there, and they should be playoff bound. For the Grundles also look good. Forte had a weak game. Reggie Bush had a weak game. Between the two of them, they only had 10 points. Andrew Luck is good. Andrew Luck looks really tough this year. Got 19 points. Des Bryant, 22. Pierre Garçon gave a dud. Okay, Marcus Colston, a big fat 0. I don't know what happened to that. I don't know if he got hurt. Didn't say he got hurt. Greg Olsen, I like. It's a lot of targets. He's the main target guy over in Carolina. The Bills D, wow, 32 points. That's what kept you alive. But ultimately, you couldn't compete with Rodgers and Sproles. And the Grundles are now 0-2. Okay. Finally, last matchup that I'm going to talk about. Slack Team versus Lam Lam. This is a brother versus sister showdown. It's got to be a bitter loss for the Lam Lams. Lam Lams auto-drafted and did complain a little bit about his team. Okay, but a couple bad things happened to the Lam Lams. Number one, Robert Griffin got hurt and got knocked out. Only 2.7 points. That's trouble for the Lam Lam. Lam Lam needs to replace Griffin. I think you have, who do you have on your bench for QB? Let's see. Nobody. You gotta pick up a QB. All right. So Griffin got hurt. It's bad for the Lum Lums. Lacey's a little banged up. Only gave 7 points. Foster, 23 points. It's a big pickup. Foster's a top running back. Maybe he's gonna be top 5 or 10 if he stays healthy. Torrey Smith, nothing. Dwayne Allen, 0. I don't know what happened with that. Did they not start him? Not throw to him? Giovanni Bernard is a big player. But I think with Bernard and Foster and Lacey, it's a top running game. Rams 12, Nick Folk 8. So what you really need is a quarterback and wide receiver help. Alshon Jeffrey is good, but you need to get another wide receiver there and a quarterback, big time. Slack team's got Matty Ice, who had a bad week last week, 8 points, but good this week. Yes, last night I think he put up like 30 points, something crazy. Alfred Morris 20. Alfred Morris is top notch. They're gonna run the ball, especially with Griffin hurt. They're gonna run the ball a lot more. With Cousins is more of a pocket passer over there in Washington. Gerhardt, Julio Jones. Julio Jones went off for like 30 points. Slack team is looking good, very good. Deshaun Jackson too, but he's gonna bounce back. Mercedes Lewis, I think he's hurt. Gave 14 points last week. Golden Tate, Texans 12. Dan Bailey, 19 points from Dan Bailey. Slack has Adrian Peterson, but I think Slack has enough slack to pick up the slack. Wes Welker's coming back. Plus you have guys like Dwayne Bowe and Trent Richardson, who's kind of like a backup. See what happens. Lam Lam, pick up your stuff. Slack, score high points. See if you can weather the whole Adrian Peterson storm until he gets back. I'm sure he's going to come back nice and strong. All right. This is your commissioner signing out, saying good luck week 3. Start your guys, work the wire, get it done, and good luck to all. Have fun.